What creep decided to make this scene?
I can't say what I'm gonna say. I mean, I could, but yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Me Time, episode 41. You'll notice that the last episode ended a little bit in a bit like mid-flow of conversation. That's because we just kept on talking and
Filmed it
we
all in
just
one.
didn't stop. Normally, we're just like, let's stop the conversation now and carry on in the next one. We just kept on talking and talking and talking,
Mm,
and then realized the time went, oh my lord. So I cut episode 40 at a point where the conversation rounded, and now we're carrying on back where we left off from the previous sort of conversation in the next episode.
yeah. For that point, enjoy this episode.
Enjoy the episode, guys, and we'll see you at the end.
It was kind of interesting because Demon Slayer almost kind of became inherited by the West. I think that's what sort of span it around slightly.
Literally, you see
Um,
that anime is on Netflix
yeah,
now. Dragon Ball is on Disney Plus.
yeah.
Oh, when I saw that the other day, I was like, please say it ain't so. What is happening? And that's almost come like sort of full circle in a way.
Yeah,
I was talking about Dragon Ball at the start, like this niche sort of little video game that I found in game is now it's like being advertised by Disney. I'm like, if that's not trying to make money, then I don't know what. Because Dragon Ball has also suffered the same fate. Dragon
mm,
Ball Z, let's face it, it should have stayed. As much as I love Dragon Ball, it should have stopped at Dragon Ball Z, and then you got Dragon Ball GT, which was the non-canon sort of like continuation, and then
Dragon
you.
Dragon Ball is such an interesting
Oh gosh, it is.
um franchise though, because I saw a story recently where I think it's keeping Japan's economy mostly stable,
It
so they
really
can't actually stop it. It's like,
it
wow,
is.
that's nuts.
You know Akira Toriyama, the mangaka of the series, he passed away
Yeah.
not too long ago, and tragic loss. It was he was
Mm,
a very old man. Was losing a lot of his memory. He
mm,
couldn't. I think I can't say something about the series because it will spoil it for you.
yeah.
But I'll just say that there's something about a certain character he genuinely forgot about.
Oh no.
So when he started writing and then just revealed the character in a certain way, everyone was kind of like, "Wait, since when can they do this?" He was just like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, I wrote about that, didn't I? Oh, don't worry, I'll introduce another something else for them to achieve." And
Mm,
everyone was like, "Okay, cool, why not?"
yeah.
But like we just like with Toriyama, we kind of accepted it.
Yeah.
um, he was very forgetful of his own stuff, which is really
I
funny.
mean, the arcs are long with Dragon Ball,
So
Dragon
worth
Ball.
it.
I
With
mean,
that's a
they are good for the payoff, but like to remember that as a writer, you're there again. What did I write? Like I can't remember most of the time what I did yesterday. So as a writer, you're there again. What in what decade did they write this?
well, it was in the 80s, wasn't it? Take
Yeah.
a look at what shonen was in the 80s to what it is now. Pacing is so much different now on a TV show. You got something like One Piece, where I think the pacing of that is also ridiculously
Oh,
bad.
One Piece is bonkers.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying that I haven't watched the original One Piece anime. I've only watched the Netflix series. Hey, and nice and compact. But knowing how large the manga is and how long the anime is, that's bonkers. I like when does the plot end? Again, it sort of suffers from the same sort of principle. Where
Yeah.
they going, we got the plot, sweet. Well, Luffy's trying to find One Piece. Where are you gonna end it? No, like
Well, I
there's like
mean,
new fruits
now
appearing and reappearing. It's like, what's going on?
there is a danger there
Yeah.
because One Piece is quite a well-received anime and manga
Oh, yeah, I know that.
worldwide. It's one of the I think it's one of the big 3.
Yeah, it
It
is.
still remain one of the big the big 3 used to be Naruto, One Piece, and Dragon Ball. Um, I mean, I can't speak on behalf of what I think the big 3 are,
Mm.
because my big 3 would be very different to those 3. I would have said I would have said a couple years ago, maybe even a little bit longer, that My Hero had the biggest potential to become one of the new big 3.
I think it was from what I saw recently.
For a time it was, it
Yeah.
definitely isn't now. I wouldn't say My Hero deserves in the top 3 spot now.
Interesting. What would you say?
For me personally, it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite
Yeah.
animes. Attack on Titan.
Fair.
Put it right up
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Put it
yeah.
right up there.
Fair. Yeah, yeah.
That's an example of what anime should be.
Mm,
That's ridiculously good.
mm.
Um, I think God, that's really I wanna keep One Piece there,
Yeah.
personally, because and I'm not really a fan of the story, but I can appreciate how patient people have to be when they say or if you read the manga and if you watch the later episodes, the pacing is so much better. And I believe them in a way
Mm,
because when I have seen clips of old episodes and they say, oh, no, no, no. Like, yeah, look at that, for example. You're just looking at like 2 minutes of just transitions and cuts and no one saying anything. They're just like,
mm.
no, no, no. That's not the One Piece that you need to be watching. You need to be watching the later stuff. So there have been a few people saying like, skip this, skip this and this and this and this, and just watch this. I'm like, my brother,
Yeah.
um, there's still over 1,000 episodes. I am not going to watch it.
Yeah.
Um, who knows at some point in the future I might when it's like me time episode
Yeah.
607, I've got an old grey beard. I've finally completed One Piece. Huh,
We survived.
yeah. Well, One Piece is coming to an end.
Yeah, I keep hearing it, but
The
yeah.
manga, it's the final saga.
Mm,
Um, I think we're on the penultimate one in the anime is caught up to the manga. Um, we're on the penultimate one, and then um please, because I don't really follow One Piece that much, so please don't hold it against me for not knowing who the name of the mangaka is. He said that sometime like next year or the year after, One Piece will end.
oh, okay,
The
interesting.
manga will. So that's really that's big
Mm,
because One Piece has been going on for such a long time
yeah,
that then the longest running anime after that will then go to Dragon Ball
yeah.
because Dragon Ball is being remade at the moment.
Dragon Ball is a perpetual engine for Japan.
Well, I think literally, and again, we can then look at that in a different way about anime becoming mainstream instead of it just being this conglomerate money making movie machine that it's
Yeah,
turning into. You've got Dragon Ball, which is they tried to go the movie route, but they kind of realized that the big chunk of the fans wanted the TV show more than anything else.
yeah.
I promise you, you look up Dragon Ball
Mm,
onto Google, it will most likely be what was it, a couple months ago, or for about a big chunk of a couple years, it was when is Dragon Ball Super coming back?
mm.
People didn't want a movie; they wanted the TV show.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when another movie got announced after when Dragon Ball Super, one of the Dragon Ball Super movies came out, and I was just like, "Oh, this is really cool because this movie takes place after the events of the end of the Dragon Ball Super anime.
yeah.
I think this is really cool." Then we waited for ages and thought, like, "Is the TV show coming back?" No, we're gonna make another movie, and it's gonna be a time skip. And we're like,
Well,
"Oh, and it's not going to be the drawn anime that everyone likes. It's gonna be 3D CGI."
mm,
And we're like, "What?" And I watched the movie, and it was just fan service galore. Um, it was fine. It was fine. It was, as a Dragon Ball fan, I was kind of like, nah, I don't know. This this is just the curse of shonen, the movie, basically. Like, it's kind of like you can watch the movie or you can't. But then Dragon Ball kind of went dead for a while, and then because of course that was because Akira Toriyama passed away.
Mm.
That was a very poor choice of words. And then they released the TV show
Mm.
Dragon Ball Daima, which I won't spoil anything about to you.
Mhm.
That takes place after the events of Dragon Ball Z, before the events of Dragon Ball Super, and the TV show was a big hit.
Mm.
So they're going back to their roots, and what they're doing, which when I heard about this, and I'm so happy they are going this route, is they're going back to Dragon Ball Super, which was notoriously shat on
Mm.
by us as well
Yeah, yeah.
for its crappy animation,
Mm.
really crappy pacing and filler. Like, how can you take one of the big three and just reduce it to this mediocre slop?
Mm.
They're redoing it, and not only that, they're remaining faithful to the manga and not changing anything from the manga this time. They're rehashing all the animation and rebooting the story in a way to make it make sense
Mm.
for what comes next, which is the second series of Dragon Ball Super. And they've confirmed that that is coming out next year or the year after. And we're
Okay.
like, holy fucking shit,
Mm.
finally.
Mm.
And I'm just like, this is what this is what it needs to be. That's an example of an attempt to heal an anime that lost its way.
Yeah, yeah.
Just don't fix what's not broken, you
Yeah.
know? Go back to what you know the people want
Mm.
and do the storytelling that people love. When I read the Dragon Ball Super manga, it's brutal.
Mm.
I'm not gonna there's if you haven't seen the Dragon Ball Super manga, avert your eyes, avert your
Mm.
ears. There's a panel. Um, it's no secret that Goku is the face of Dragon Ball, so he's a big prominent character in it
Mm.
still. There is a panel where they've been fighting for a very very long time, and then this character loses his arm, moves the arm socket
Mhm.
right in front of Goku's chest and goes, "Can you do better next time?" And regenerates his arm through Goku,
Oh, damn.
blood everywhere,
Yeah, yeah.
to the point that that attack was just so brutal
Mm.
for the rest of the manga to its ending where it went on hiatus. Goku had a permanent scar on his pec. Permanent.
Damn. Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
au the artist did not forget to draw that. It's like a sun mark on his pec, which
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
brand new feature for
Mm.
Goku. It's like, remember that time when someone punched a hole through Goku's chest and
Yeah.
he almost died again?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Goku's died and almost died so many times, it's not even funny, but
Yeah.
that was brutal.
Mm.
Because for characters that can always come back to life and life and life all over again, it's just like,
Mm.
man's not losing that scar anytime soon. That's a reminder that he really got beaten senseless there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I thought that was crazy cool.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like the stakes returned, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, I've been talking for ages here. What are your thoughts on all of this?
No, I kind of wanted to turn towards a more positive sort of direction slightly because there's definitely some issues. um,
Mm.
but I think I probably wanted to turn slightly towards our sort of predictions for solo leveling, I guess.
Interesting. Why do you bring I know why you're bringing that up, but why are you bringing it up, Elliot?
So we've sort of set out issues with Demon Slayer and Dragon Ball, and sort of various other sort of animes. Um, and solo leveling is in this great place at the minute where it's his first two series. Always like the sweet spot of like any sort of anime, I guess. You can get 2 series that are quite generally written quite well. And with season 3 coming along, there's that risk of, well, season 3, not 100% guaranteed yet, but there's always that talk between, "Oh, season 2, it's a movie next." And we're kind of they go, "We don't fancy movie for Solo Leveling. We want to sort of focus specifically on the plot," I think is the best way
I don't
forward.
know if you remember when myself and yourself went to the cinema, like for Demon Slayer, and what was advertised, it was the premiere of the first episode of series 3.
Mm,
And we were like, this is really cool. We're going to see the first episode in the cinema. I completely misread the trailer and didn't realize we were also going to watch the series 2 finale again
yeah.
on the big screen. So when that happened and that came on, I kind of looked to Elliot and I was like, okay, this is cool that we get to see this again on the big screen. I'm
Yeah,
not objecting, but not what I came for.
yeah.
Um, and then I sort of feared when after that, like, well, it was really cool to see the episode on the big screen. Not really what I signed up for as a whole, because kind
Mm,
of like I just wanted to see the episode, and that was
mm,
that. Um, I fear a lot of anime may do the same thing to get a lot of money out of this.
mm.
Oh, it probably isn't. Yeah, I'm probably wrong. Unfortunately, I was right.
Yeah,
Solo Leveling did that for
yeah.
the premiere of episode 1 of series 2.
Mm,
Dan Da Dan did that for the premiere of episode 1 of series 2.
yeah.
D I like I don't know. Oh, yeah, Attack on Titan did that. They
Mm.
released the finale, part 1 and part 2, and they were just like, "Cool, what we are going to do now." I'm talking Russian, by the way, just to clarify, I'm not trying to imply any accents. "What we are going to do now is we're going to put part 1 and part 2 together as one big movie for people to watch in the cinema, even though you've already seen the finale." Like,
Yeah,
you just oh, you
it is very strange, that side of things.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But yeah, going back to what you said about Solo Leveling, please don't. Oh my god, don't ruin this for us.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I bet you were expecting something constructive there. I'd
Yeah.
planned that out in my head like 5 minutes ago. I was just like, "Oh, come on. Oh
Yeah,
no. Oh no, don't."
yeah,
Because Solo Leveling is the first one of the first examples of something changing in anime, because Solo Leveling wasn't a manga,
no,
it was a manhwa,
yes.
which we definitely didn't look up before
What
recording
what
this,
do you mean never? What do you
which is, for many of you that don't know, a lot of you probably do, let's face it, you're nerds if you're watching me time. uh, Manhwa is Korean manga, essentially, a Korean comic. And the main difference is they don't really have there's a lot more emotional scenes in anime in manga.
Yes.
Very stereotypical, a lot of questionable Japanese, more like what would I even call it?
I've got no idea. Where you
Ethics,
going?
ethics. Just you get your scenes where it's like a weirdly scantily clad women and men being perverted,
Yeah, fair.
bleeding from the nose. You get your stereotypical scenes in anime where people look at that and go, why are you watching this shit?
Yeah.
You know?
I do love the, current meme going around at the minute where it's like, "Oh, anime is fine when you're watching it alone. As soon as your parent walks in, "You're watching what the heck are you watching?" It's like,
Yeah.
"I swear it's decent."
It's one of those things. I remember My Hero. I was watching, um,
Oh, is that
yeah, I was watching series 2, and it was the
Ah,
sports festival,
yeah,
and like it was quite it's quite an intense scene. Like everyone is in like the sports uniforms. Everyone's literally in uniform, like throwing their powers to get to the finish line. And sort of like I leave it running for a little bit to grab something, and then my mum sort of comes into the room as Yaoyorozu just goes, "Ugh." You don't see anything because obviously she's wearing a crop top underneath,
Mm.
thank God. But she's just like, obviously, I get it. Her power is like creating stuff out of her skin, but just like, could she not have just pulled it out of her arm? Why
I
did
wonder
she have to go,
where it fits.
"Ah?" Just it's just like, obviously, my mum just gave me a look like, "What are you watching?" Just like, "I can explain." I can explain. So, I mean, in the
Uh,
future, I never really hid from the fact that, like, I watch My Hero Academia, and I went
mm.
to go watch the movies, and my mum was like, "Are you watching My Hero?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm watching My Hero." Came back, she never viewed it as that weird show that Matthew watches. I always came back and explained the plot to them. I was just like, "Yo,
Yeah,
um,
by the way.
yeah, Deku, who was not shirtless."
Yeah.
Hang on, I watched Dragon Ball Z. It's a bunch of topless men screaming and sweating over each other. Like,
It's like football.
yeah. Ah, Dragon Ball,
Nah.
football. Ah,
Oh, no.
next time on Football Z.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Messi gets a hat trick.
Oh,
Something like that, you know?
Yeah,
Will
yeah.
England win the World Cup or will they lose like they have done since 1960s? Find out next time on Football Z. I was pretty proud of
They should
that.
they should do that. That's not gonna lie.
I would watch the World Cup if they did that. So yeah, people perceive anime as this thing that has very weird scenes and this over exaggerated style where there's a
Mm.
lot of filler of characters going, huh, ooh, make it like, um,
Um,
and they don't see it as this really serious thing. But
yeah.
in reality, there are it's there are a lot of anime that are like that, but a lot of anime that becomes mainstream sort of culture with all of the serious, gritty fighting and bloodshedding narrative. That's what's getting it seen in a way. And then
Mm.
when anime gets into the scene, you can sort of like feed outwards and go whichever way you want to, whatever rabbit hole you want to go down for anime,
Mm.
whatever genre that is. But then you got solo leveling.
Mm.
And it was brought up to me today about the subtle differences in solo leveling's writing in comparison to other anime.
Mm.
You don't really see the exaggerated animations. You don't really see them waving their hands like crazy. You don't really see them emotional at all. It feels for an anime so fantastical, very down to earth.
Remember, we're on Spotify, so if you're out for a run or working, you can always listen to us. Isn't that right, Matthew? What? Oh,
R-
I think it's
In a
quite
way,
stoic to a degree. I think
stoic, that's a good way of
yeah,
putting it.
I think it's how do I phrase it? I think it's stoic, but I think what makes Jinwoo interesting or the way it's written is that it's not he doesn't exaggerate his movements as such. Um, but you get to know what he's thinking instead.
Mhm.
So, when he's in hospital and sort of trying to sort of deal with this new system, you kind of get you kind of get the narration of what he's thinking, and then he'll sort of say it.
Mm.
So you don't have to exaggerate so much. Um, and a lot of the characters, I don't know, they're a lot more calmer. And you mentioned today about the manual writer doing his military service, and has put the series on hold for the time being. I kind of got to wonder if if that's a society that's sort of out there. If the sort of, if that sort of a projection of the Korean society kind of being portrayed on screen through solo leveling.
That's very interesting. I think so. I don't really didn't really think of it that way, but, um,
'Cause I don't think Japan's got national service.
so one thing I noticed is how impactful the scene was when Jinwoo broke down and cried.
Mm.
You don't really see that reaction from him in the series at all, really.
Mm.
It's very cold, very stoic, very just, like, subtle with what the characters do, and then that obviously makes the fighting and the reactions to fighting that much more, like,
I think it's more visceral.
yes.
Yeah.
And in which case, when Jinwoo finally saved um, his mum woke up and said, "Jinwoo, like, thank you. Are
Mm.
you alright?" The shot doesn't deviate from him at all as he begins to break down like crazy.
Mm.
He proper, like, just weeps as though he was a child again
Mm.
and embraces his mum, and he's just like, "Oh my gosh, thank goodness you're okay." Then obviously, when his sister comes onto the scene, she also is in an emotional state.
Yeah.
It made that it made it make have more value.
Yeah, I think if we're portraying it in a stoic mindset, if we're viewing it that way, yeah, I think you probably argue Jin is strong for the moments that count in battle type stuff,
Yeah.
but then he chooses to be vulnerable in places that he trusts. Um, and again, if we're going to portray that in the Korean society of they've got national service, if you're going to project that, then he's strong for the task and purpose. Um, but then he is able to be emotional when he needs to be. A more sensible version of like emotion, being emotional, I guess.
I'd even go as far as to say is that is a very good lesson in today's culture
Yes.
that many people appreciate.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad to obviously the big focus on the importance of mental health in
Mm.
today's society, which I am forever thankful
Mm.
for. Could it be that people really like it when characters just obviously there's a struggle. We see them struggle and like we
Emotion.
want
Yeah. Yeah.
them to be emotional. We
Mm.
want them to overcome these obstacles. We really root for them. So when they have these high, almost exaggerated emotions and hyper realistic like scenes, that's why we get glued to it.
Mm.
And anime episodes, they're short. They're short bursts, which is why when people ask me like, "Oh, watch this show on Netflix," I'm like, "How long is it?" "Oh, there's like 20 episodes in the series one." How long are the episodes?" "Oh, just over an hour each."
Mm.
"Oh god, really?" And I watched this anime." "Oh, cool. How many episodes?" "13." Tidy. Because I could literally just watch half of that in an evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because episodes are like 20 minutes long.
Mm.
You get such a condensed shot of d beauty in 20 minutes. Like, it's just you could just watch that on your lunch break or something, you know?
It kind of speaks to the Asian hemisphere a bit, I think,
Mm.
where everything they do is sort of it must have purpose. It must do something. I
Huh.
think we don't have that much here in the West. It's more like we do it quickly, and it's not done very well sometimes, not all the times, but a lot of the times in the in the Asian cultures, I know like in feudal Japan, um, you if you had a skill that you would get good at, the family would push you into that skill, and you'd practice it for life, and you become a professional at it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um, I know the Asian cultures do that quite a lot, and I think that kind of follows through in how anime is written and how the Asian cultures are then projected out into um anime and manhwa.
Obviously, my concern also is with the animators. Because
Yeah,
because
that's the only thing.
animators the anime, if you think about it, never really used to be in high demand. It was just made
Mm,
when it was made and it came out. There's a strong focus on seasonal
Mm.
approaches instead of it being like every week or something like that. There was excitement for the new series to come out, but in a world way back when in the 80s and 90s, we'd just get it when we get it.
Yeah.
There would be trailers for it. There would be demand for it, but it wasn't as intense.
Mm.
There was still, I'd say cinema was still king back then.
Yeah.
Movies was still the one that was like, oh, make this, yeah, let's go to
Mm.
the cinema. But now that it's streaming based, everything is very focused on TV. As soon as its TV show is done, we're like, oh, when is the next series coming out?
Yeah.
Because we're like that with anime. We're straight away, okay, the season ended. That felt really short. Cool. When's the next series? Has it been greenlit yet?
Mm.
Those poor anime. Do you know how hard it is to animate one scene of anime alone? Like, give them a
Mm,
rest.
yeah.
It is, there's a reason why mental health is at its worst with animators.
Yes.
There's a reason they're pushed
Mm.
to their limits. It's unfair, which is why there's also a danger of anime becoming mainstream, is that animators get overworked. And then, of course, you have the solution, which we've discussed in the last theme, is, oh, well, let's just get AI to do it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't get it. You're not getting it. AI will be a good tool to use to help storyboarding and animation assistance, perhaps. But, like, that's not a solution, it's a tool.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Look how good I am. I'm being progressive after being the theme. Like AI is a tool to be used, not
Yeah.
don't fuck it off, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, Ethan, you'd be proud of me.
Yeah.
um, it's there's so many benefits, but so many drawbacks
Yes.
to anime taking off. We can't deny anime has kind of taken over the scene, but
It's kind of filled that vacuum where cinema's kind of dropped off the dropped off the, radar at the minute.
but the danger is anime is becoming the new
Yeah. It is.
cinema. You
Mm.
know, we're going to the movies to watch anime, which never used to be a thing.
Mm.
I remember when I got to see an anime movie in the cinemas, it felt like I struck platinum. I was like, this is ridiculously rare. It's a limited screening. I'm not going to be it's only in cinema for like 2 days because it's like the budget for this was small and like they managed to get it here. I was like, oh, it's cool. And now they're just like, oh yeah, the Demon Slayer movie will be in the cinema for the next 2 months. I'm like, well, it's just lost all value in it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So it's I got to appreciate that times are changing and anime is adapting to it. I've got to appreciate that. I'm just scared that it's going to just do what Western media does and focus so much on money and idolizing what anime looks like rather than what it could be.
Yeah, I think again, it's always been a balance again, hasn't it? It's always been take take the first Transformers, for example, I guess, where both the visuals and the story were on point. Um, but then as they got progressively more popular, the visuals became more of a focus, and the story kind of began to drop off slightly.
Very pleased that you said that as an example because take a look at the CGI of the first Transformers film.
It must be studied.
The first Transformers CGI, so clean,
Mm,
so lifelike, realistic. And then around at the same sort of time, Pirates of the Caribbean.
mm.
Look at the CGI of look at the CGI of Dead Man's Chest and World's End and tell me it's not some of the greatest CGI that you've ever seen. I dare you.
Mm,
Like, even the CGI of Revenge of the Fallen, one of the most famously shit Transformers movies.
mm.
Look at the CGI of that. The CGI of Devastator alone was, I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before, was considered the most dangerous CGI model
Mm.
at the time in Hollywood, like or like your blockbuster scene, because the model was just so intensely complex. that it burned 4 systems. It didn't
Yeah.
corrupt them, it blew the fucking CGI systems up. It
Yeah.
was that foul of a model. It's like the attention to detail is ridiculous in those
Mm.
movies. You can't deny the CGI and the sound design of Transformers is cool as hell.
Yeah.
I still listen to the sound design now. I think
Mm.
perfect.
Mm.
But then you notice when it gets to the conclusion of the supposed trilogy
Mm.
and the CGI sort of like comes to around, then they're like, oh, wait, no, we made lots of money from this. Let's make Transformers 4. Let's make a whole Transformers cinematic universe. The CGI takes a massive step backwards.
Mm.
The Transformers feel so out of frame, and the narrative takes a nose.
Yeah.
And I was actually speaking about this to Ethan the other day. They spend one scene in the movie explaining why a man dating an underage girl is okay. Do you not remember that?
No.
The Romeo and Juliet law. You watched the movie with me.
I can't remember that scene at all.
So basically, the main character, Cade Yeager, Marky
Oh,
Marky
yeah, yeah,
Mark,
yeah.
um, his daughter, Tessa,
Yeah.
uh, was she was she like 16 or 18, something like that? I think she's 18. I
Must
don't,
have been
I
it.
can't remember, but
Yeah.
she was still going to college,
Yeah.
and then she was dating someone who was like quite a fair few years older than her. And then Marky Mark was like understandably just like, "Hey yo, this is my daughter. This isn't okay." And he goes like, "Here's the Romeo and Juliet law, which dictates that me and her can be together." And I'm then thinking like, I came here to watch CGI robots fight. I came here to
Uh,
watch the Autobots versus the Decepticons,
yeah.
not whatever the hell this is. The
Yeah.
money went to their head, and
Yeah.
that's the way anime could be going. And I don't want it to be the case.
No.
But like, there's so many different anime that are coming out at the moment that are underrated,
Mm.
or barely spoken about. And then you look at like, I will call them the conglomerate side of the anime, that get the big hot press on the scene, Jujutsu Kaisen and all of that stuff. That's all just like heralded. And
Mm.
I'm so scared for the big boosted ones to sort of lose their way with money. And I'm also scared for the actual genuine ones coming out to be just lost and forgotten and we never get a continuation.
I'd say the one that I enjoyed recently that sort of came out left field. It's kind of reason it was sort of it was linked to Soul Eater, and I watched a little bit of Soul Eater when I was younger. But it's Fire Force. Fire Force came out
Mm.
recently, and I actually it was still that sort of like, it was still that sort of comfortable anime to watch. Um, but the story and the themes and stuff I actually really enjoyed it. I think it'd be sort of one to watch again. I even go back and watch the old animes like we are. I mean, I'm rewatching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and then Matt's.
Well, so I'm watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for the first time.
Yeah,
It's an anime that has always been recommended to me, but I know it's one of those old anime where you just for me it either clicks or it don't.
yeah.
But then Elliot was just like, "Sit your ass down. We are watching
Watch.
this. Like you don't get a choice." I'm like, "Fine."
Mm,
We got 4 episodes in, and I turned to you and we're like, "Yeah, fine, okay, cool. This is pretty good. This is pretty damn good."
yeah,
And now we're like 14 episodes in. I'm just like, I can't wait to carry on with this soon.
yeah, yeah.
We need to get that in the diary soon. We need
Yes.
to watch some more Full
Yeah,
Metal.
yeah.
We'll get a date organized, Elliot.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. I like, what's the other one? Berserk was another one, but prepare yourself
Oh,
for
good
Berserk.
God. We've spoken about Berserk on the podcast
Yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah.
That was, oh, come on. The anime, the one that you got me to watch, The Golden Age, that
Golden Age is far better
the
than
Golden
the
Age
Dark
had
Swordsman.
some good moments of animation, had some terrible moments of animation,
Yeah.
but when you started to get me to watch the main Berserk storyline,
Yeah.
is it the Dark Age?
Dark Swordsman.
Dark
Yeah.
Swordsman. Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it.
it's
I was
annoying. It's like strong story, animation so
the
bad.
animation was so bad, and the sound effect that they were using,
What was it, Clang?
stock sound effects.
Yeah,
They were using stock sound effects
yeah.
for it, not like creating their own sounds. It was just like a really, oh no, there's this innocent girl that I've just met, and I'm gonna have to kill her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no. Boom! I'm like, what? There's supposed to be an
Yeah,
impactful scene. He's like, dong.
yeah.
And then what was it, the other episode where he's just like, oh, there's a big commotion going on. Are you okay? Oh, it's you. Boom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's you.
Oh,
Boom.
that's hilarious.
A
Um,
dramatic scene. And he's just literally getting his big sword going, bonk,
yeah.
bonk. I don't get it. Like, that's another example. Is it that important to make a story animated to get money that you just make it mediocre, so
Mm,
mediocre?
yeah.
One Punch Man Series 3. You haven't seen how bad that
No,
is.
no.
I'm gonna show Elliot after this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show him how good One Punch Man Series 1 is, and then I'm gonna give you an example of One Punch Man Series 3. Shouldn't have been made. It's literally just a studio just going, "Oh, we're gonna make it because One Punch Man needs to be an anime, and we're gonna get loads of money from this.
Mm,
We're gonna get a paycheck. People are gonna like it."
yeah.
And everyone is like, "We are One Punch Man is one of the most gorgeous manga ever created. This better look good." It's like something that not like doesn't even hold a candle to fan animations on YouTube.
Yeah.
A fan went to YouTube to prove a point and animated one of the fighting scenes in 2 days. He took himself to do it in 2 days,
Yeah.
I think. I wanna say it was a short amount it was definitely a short amount of time.
Mm,
And the animation studio basically had years and years and years and years and years to animate this ridiculously sick panel from the manga. And what do? They just took they traced over the shot and added like a blue hue and sort of flame effect to it and added no detail. And he animated that scene in 2 days. And even then, it looked 10 times, if not 20 times better.
mm,
I'm like, it's not, it's not hard to, why are you ruining this? Why are you ruining this for everyone?
yeah.
But I mean, this could be something that we'd speak about in episode 42,
Yeah.
I think, for the finale,
Mhm.
um, that there are many anime that are being seen and there's many anime that's being not seen.
Mm,
And we're choosing to there's a big thing about taking anime that could be great and going just like, oh, this is bad. This is really bad. I don't like it. The next series comes out, I'm still gonna give it a watch anyway because it's really bad, you know? I'm gonna just keep watching to see and confirm that this is really bad. When you've got this gold mine of other content in the background, like,
mm.
you could watch any of this. "Oh, no, I'm a One Punch Man and I'm a Dragonball fan, so I'm gonna watch all of
Yeah,
these."
the zealots.
You're not helping yourself.
Yeah.
Try something new.
Mm.
I think that could be a good topic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Anything else that you'd like to add to this?
I think that's me done for now.
Excellent.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. This was a new one, so you noticed that there was a cut at the end of episode 40, sorry, and it's because we decided to have this as a there was so much to talk about. We couldn't limit it to two different conversations, so we wanted to have one big one, and then I'm just gonna cut at an appropriate point.
Mm.
So yeah, so that's how it's been. So it's weird for us because this is now technically episode 41.
Yes.
We started this recording as episode 40, and this is now episode 41. So
Mm.
this time next week is the finale to Me Time Phase 2 part 1,
Yeah.
the first half of the series. It will be episode 42 will conclude the Age of Anime, and we will give you a little bit of an insight about what to expect for the second half of phase 2, but not too much. We'll
Yeah.
talk about little details.
Mhm.
Um, Other than that, tune in to YouTube and Spotify, same time, 7 p.m. next week. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you soon.
Have a good week. See you soon.
Bye,
Subscribe.
guys. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Me Time. If you haven't already, please consider following, subscribing, sharing, and liking. It helps Elliot and I out get more episodes of Me Time to you.